This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Close friends, welcome to Close Friends. Last week you said you wanted
to do jingles.
Jingles. Well, do a fucking jingle then. Go.
We've got to, no, because I want it to be fully, like, with a song and a tune and everything, and we have to come up with lyrics. But for today, it can just be close friends, friends, you and I.
Hang on a second, wait. That's Courtney fucking Act out there.
What?
Oh my God, Courtney Act is walking past. Being at Nova, I love seeing, celebs walk past the studio.
Let's get her in.
You reckon get her on?
Open the door now and ask if she wants to come on.
Hang on. Courtney! Hey! Oh, Courtney Actor, welcome to High Scrollers.
Hi.
Close friends episode, by the way.
Close friends.
Yes.
Thank you.
Does that mean that like the green circle?
Yes.
Yeah. So we can talk about anything on this pod.
I
And
like
it doesn't
that.
matter. And we can't be cancelled for anything that we say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you might say that, but is it true?
Honestly,
We've tested it. Yeah, so far we haven't been cancelled. We're over a year in. So
I think you can't cancel the uncancelable.
yeah.
That's my goal in life. To be cancelable, not uncancelable, to be uncancelable.
Uncancelable.
And I think about, and I don't know why this is the person that comes to mind, but Ricky Gervais is someone who is uncancelable, even if he does or doesn't deserve to be cancelled. But like, there's those people who at a certain level of economic stability, and I think that's where it comes in, where like you can just say whatever you want and not be beholden to like sponsors or human rights or anything. And I do want to be beholden to human rights, but I'd love to be above, like, I think I'd like to be independently wealthy. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, don't we all, doll? I think, today will be a good soundboard, good platform for you to test the uncancelable waters, because I feel like if there's anywhere to test it,
I'm pretty sure this is a trap, you guys.
We set you up to get cancelled.
Yeah. Look, I used to be a big fan of Brenda, Call Me.
Aww.
And which for everyone listening, was Courtney's podcast that she had with her friend Vanity. And
Which you can still listen to.
yes, right now.
2 seasons.
Wherever you get your podcast. It was actually, I don't listen to podcasts, and I made time for your podcast.
Aww.
Because it was very insightful. I loved lavender linguistics.
Yes.
And I also loved having a finger through the glossies, which I have now brought into my life and still say all the time. Like
Good.
if I'm at the hairdresser, I'll go, do you need it? When they say, do you need anything? I go, nah, I'm going to sit here and have a finger through the glossies. So can.
That's gone over my head. What the fuck
Right?
are
He's
you
like,
talking
I know
about?
what's going on.
Well, I'll let you.
Well, fingering through the
let us know.
glossies was when you went to get a haircut, you would get like your Woman's Day or your Woman's Weekly. Ironically, in Australia, Woman's Day comes out weekly and Woman's Weekly comes out monthly, but they probably couldn't call it Women's Monthly. Also, the Liberal Party is conservative. Mardi Gras is on a Saturday and it translates to Fat Tuesday. Like, it's just, it's bonkers down here in Australia. But yeah, fingering through the glossies was like getting your Woman's Day, your Woman's Weekly, and like having a finger through the glossy magazines and having a catch up each week after you've read the glossies and you want to talk about, Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt's facelift.
I kind of miss that when you go to
whatever.
the hairdressers and all the magazines were there.
Yeah.
Remember you would even, they would have like the hairdressing magazine and you could go through and see all the different hairstyles and cuts and then you'd pick from that.
And then you'd be convinced, you're like, yeah, I want to do this.
I want to do this angled bob,
And then you'd end up coming out with exactly the same hairdo as you had when you went in.
Bring it back, I say.
Honestly.
Did you know, this is, sorry, a tangent, but I was wandering through Marrickville the other day. I had like an hour to kill and I just went wandering and I stumbled across the Marrickville Public Library and it is like, it's like a WeWork or like some sort of like epic, maybe I'm just like too detached from reality, but I couldn't quite grasp that this giant glamorous building which was packed with people. It was like a real hub and a vibe. There's like a cafe. It's all free. You can go in. They even have magazines. They even have glossies. They even have Women's Weekly that you can go in and just like read, like Vogue UK, like all of these magazines. And you just go in and you read them all for free. And I know that's what public libraries
free,
are.
aren't they?
They are.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind. I'm like,
I'm
why would
surprised
you
that
ever
we're
go
not
to a
getting-
bookshop?
I'm surprised we're not getting charged to go to libraries now.
Yeah. I mean, we pay through our
I
taxes.
think they're run by the government though.
But I'm
so-
just, like, how have they not figured out some way to charge us?
Surely.
Like, we get charged for everything else.
But that's the beauty of them. That's the point. They're a public service,
Yeah, I do
community
love the
centres and
Marrickville
public
Library.
libraries.
But surely you've been to the Green Square one?
No.
'Cause that'd be my favourite. Oh,
I think I need to do a public
it's
library tour.
underground and has like this big skylight and like gardens everywhere, and it's like so tranquil and like just it's an experience.
I'm
the
going to
Green
get on the
Square
metro,
Library.
go to Green Square.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
the metro go to Green Square? I feel like it does.
That's a good series right there on TikTok. You touring around libraries
around
and reviewing them
libraries.
and rating them.
Well, I can't think of her name, and she does like come with me as I take a shit
Yes, says.
whatever toilet says.
Love says.
But I feel like come with me as I go to a public library isn't quite like come with me as I take a shit in a public library, not in the
Do you reckon
toilet. Now
she
that's
actually
a series.
shits there, or do you reckon?
Sure.
Of course she does.
Surely.
You've got to time your bowel movements though, don't you?
Yeah, you'd have to line that up perfectly.
I feel like though social media is a place where you could definitely give that a go, and you might be surprised at how well it takes off. 'Cause
Well, I
it's-
did film some content while I was there.
Oh, good.
I was like, people need to know about this.
Meanwhile, it's full.
Yeah, it
And
was
everyone
full.
knows.
Everyone knows. I'm the last to know.
How camp? Well, I am someone who, speaking of lavender linguistics, uses the word camp all the time, which was a struggle for our predominantly straight audience to get used to. And Brittney had no idea what camp meant. Our audience
Brittney
had always
does.
like, stop trying to make camp happen.
That's camp.
That's camp, right? It's
Yes.
camp. And what would you say is the opposite of camp, by the way?
Mock.
Mock. So is that actual, like, is
I
that
don't
the
know.
actual
That's what
term?
we used to say. Is it mock or is it camp? Now, my definition of camp weirdly comes from The Simpsons, when I want to say John Waters was the voice of a character on The Simpsons, and he opens up a shop for left-handed people, I think.
Oh, yes, the leftorium or whatever it's called.
Leftorium, yeah. Not to be confused with the succatorium. That's a very different place. But he defined camp as the tragically ludicrous, the ludicrously tragic. And so I read Susan Sontag's notes on camp, which wasn't really very camp. It was quite long. And I also went to the camp exhibition at the Met, which was sort of like a few years ago. They had a whole exhibition on it. And camp is just like that. I think one of the things about camp was that it's like undefinable in a way.
Yeah.
But sort of like things at a camp are sort of making a comment on society, but there's often like a twist that's relevant to like a niche of the community and often comes from a queer sensibility. Like one of the examples was these old carved statues of like men, like symbols of masculinity, but they were sort of in these like lilting poses with like a bit of a limp wrist or a bit of a beveled leg. And so this idea that the statue is about like it's carved from stone, it's hard, it's marble, it's like a symbol of masculinity, but then it's got like a little beveled leg, and that's camp.
Yeah, that is camp. Yeah. I like to tell the audience that it just means it's just a word to describe something that's fabulous, bit gay, bit fun, bit fresh, instead of it's similar to stunning, gorgeous, whatever. It's like it's camp.
I think the kids are calling it zesty now.
Zesty, yeah, zesty, but I think zesty's more of an insult.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I looked at producer Hannah because I know she's down with the kids. She knows all the lingo. I just know it because I saw a Instagram of a TikTok from 2 weeks ago that was explaining the words that the kids are using and that are banned. But wait, let's make zesty not an insult.
Yeah, reclaim it.
Let's reclaim zesty from 2 weeks ago.
I think out of all the insults you could, throw at a queer person, though, zesty is probably the nicest one.
Absolutely. She's a bit zesty, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a bit zesty. Oh, I love that. Let's reclaim the word.
I like to say she's got a bit of sugar in her shoes, that one.
Brittany's still like, I've got no clue what's going on. So I thought we would play a game with Brittany today.
Okay.
Is this the game?
This is the game, which I have called it camp or naff because
Okay,
naff
naff.
is my opposite.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, I think you're
So
right.
something's
I think
either
you're right on
camp
that.
or naff. And Britt's got a list of things that she's going to quiz us on whether they are camp or whether they are naff, and we'll be the judge.
Okay.
Just to let her into the the queer experience a little deeper today. Also, she has no idea what these are.
I know these. I'm reading them now.
No, as in you haven't been, like, our producer Hannah created this list.
Yes,
so
yes,
you
I'm
haven't,
seeing them for the first time
You're
right
seeing
now.
it for the first time. I don't know what's on this list either, so it's
Okay.
just as much of a surprise to
I've
us.
just quickly asked our robot overlords for a definition of camp.
Oh, fun.
Camp is a style and sensibility that reveals in the exaggerated, theatrical, and often the absurd. It's a mode of expression that embraces artifice, irony, and over-the-top aesthetics, often with a playful or humorous edge. There you go. I feel like we know less about camp than before we started.
Honestly. I think that explanation of camp was quite naff, actually.
Yeah, I think it was too.
All right, well, let's play Camp or Naff. Okay, the first one is Brat Summer.
Camp.
It's camp, but there's like a timeline, right? Like I think depending on where you are on the timeline, it could become, or who you are, it could be naff.
Okay.
But it is camp for us.
Who would think
It's
it was
very
Naff?
camp. I don't know.
You're
who would
like
think
no
it would-
one.
Yeah, no. Well, I was just thinking because we've got this new Brat album coming soon again, part
know. Oh, is
2,
there?
or even part 3, because there's already been a second.
Is it like a
part.
remix album?
It's a remix album, and it's just in time for Australian summer.
Yeah,
so
because
Brat
I feel
Summer
like it
isn't
came
over.
out in our winter and we didn't
Wait,
get to fully get
is that
amongst it.
naff? Is like because I've been away for the last 3 months in the Northern Hemisphere, having a Brat Summer. But have Australians all been here like
We've been
being
freezing
like
our
Brat
ass
Summer
off.
Yeah.
in winter?
We've been freezing
Yeah.
our ass off listening to
Or
these
is that
songs.
camp?
So we've been in the clubs having all the Brat parties, but it has been fucking freezing. Which,
I
by
went-
the way, side note, I did see you at Arc on the weekend, but I didn't actually say hello.
Was
but
I
just-
like macking off with a guy for like an hour?
No, you were at the bar and this guy was chewing your fucking ear off, and I was like, I'm not going to go say hello because she's clearly preoccupied. Like, your face was giving, please leave me alone. But I just remember like having this moment at the bar at Arc on the weekend, and I saw you, and I just looked across, and then I looked back at the bartender while she was making my drink, and I thought, fucking hell, the fact we've both got to be at Nova on Monday morning. And I'm like, and she's going to be in full drag. I was like, it's not fucking real. But
Well, I
was
was
camp.
at a Brat Summer party before that
Really?
at the Impy.
Oh, nice.
And this is the first time I've ever done this. My friend like walked downstairs and they were like, "Oh, sorry, it's sold out. It's a ticketed event. We're having like a Brat / Charlie XCX party. Brat / Chapel Roan party."
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody turned around and started to exit, and I was like, "Hang on, guys." I'm not in drag. I promise I've never done this. But I walked up to the door lady and I went, "Hi, I'm Courtney Act." And she was like, "Oh, God, yes, you are." And I was like, "I know that you're sold out, but I was just wondering if my friends and I could come in." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, yes, of course. How many are you?" And I was like, 7. She's like, "Oh, yes, you'll have to pay." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." But I was just like,
You used
"Hello,
your name.
I'm Courtney Act.
Yeah.
Like, you're Beyonce. Thank you."
Brittney's done that and got herself into a party with Vince Vaughn.
Oh.
I don't know who
But I
wins
didn't
there.
do it like that.
You said, "Hello, I'm Brittney."
I
And they were
didn't
like-
say it like that. I said it like a
No,
joke.
she got her phone and went, "Look at my followers."
No, I didn't. I said it in passing as we were leaving, and then he was like, "What did you just say?" And then he's like, "Show me your Instagram." And then I was like, "Okay." And then he's like, "Okay, you can come in."
Perfect.
Great story. Met Vince Vaughn. Okay, next one. We've got vodka Red Bull.
Hang on, camp or naff? Oh, I don't know. This is such a hard game. For me personally,
You're being so safe.
I know.
Just say it with your whole chest, babes.
I don't know. I keep looking at you being like, what's the right answer?
I'm giving naff.
Personally, I think it's naff.
I think so too, to be honest, because I think back to when I would go out when I was 18 and 19 and drink vodka Red Bulls all night. How did we do that?
Why did we do that?
Yeah.
We were young. We still had youth and life and zest in
I
us.
know.
And then you're
We
having
went-
so many energy drinks at night,
Yeah.
like after
With
midnight.
alcohol.
Yeah,
Just do a
like-
line of like an adult. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm leaning into your get cancelled thing.
Vodka Red Bulls, naff.
Yep, I agree. Drinking cow's milk.
Naff.
Sorry, that was a burp. And
Are you a vegan?
I'm a vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
But I've never been a dairy queen.
Yeah.
When I was little, my dad once he said, I can't remember. Like, he's a naturopath. So basically, you go to a naturopath, they do all of these tests, get all this specialized data, and they're like, you should stop drinking dairy. Like, everybody universally gets that as a recommendation, I feel. And so I never drank dairy growing up. I was a soy boy long before it was popular. And yeah, I just drink plant-based milk.
See, I
Yeah,
see
nice.
everyone now saying that all the plant-based milks are like worse for us, and then people now are saying we need to go back to drinking normal milk.
Nah.
Well, I think when you do look at the science about, like, if you think about it, the cows eat soy to make their milk. So if you just cut out the middleman and drink the soy milk, you're still better off. But there are definitely problems with
The oils
deforestation,
and-
with like growing places to plant the soy. But I think, those things being done ethically are the best thing. But ultimately, plant-based milks
I only do
are
an
better
oat
for the
milk.
environment.
I'm
I'm
an
an
oat
oatmeal.
or almond.
Yeah. Almond's a bit thin for me. And I had to stop drinking soy because my doctor said that's why your tits are so big, because there's estrogen in a soy milk.
Phytoestrogen.
And because I, when I was younger, I lost a lot of weight but still had these really big tits. And my doctor was like, that's the fucking soy milk. Quit that. And I was like, all right. And went to almond. But thank God oat exists now. I love an oat milk.
Oat milk with matcha is really good.
Yeah, yum.
Okay, next one. We've got Taylor and Travis.
Naff.
You know what? Naff.
You know what? I'm in, like, because I like reading on Reddit, and there's like a Taylor and Travis group on Reddit that's got hundreds of thousands of people in it, and everyone just like is ripping their relationship to shreds. It's just really interesting to read other opinions on a celebrity couple in there.
You know what is camp, though? Donald Trump tweeting, "I hate Taylor Swift." That's camp.
Did he tweet just that?
Yes.
I hate Taylor
Or he
Swift.
truth socialed it. Whatever.
Because she came out in support of
Kamala.
Kamala
Yeah.
Harris.
But I just love,
And he just wrote, I hate
he
Taylor
literally
Swift.
wrote, "I hate Taylor Swift." Like, what a child.
I know. Can you imagine if someone in Australia was doing that?
Yeah.
Like the person in charge of the country?
No.
What are they like? Jess Malboy comes out in support of, and then the opposition's like, "I hate Jess Malboy."
Yeah.
And everyone will be like, "You're an idiot." Jess
We would
Malboy's a
never. Like,
legend."
no one here would never.
No.
No one would never. Okay, do you want me to just pick one more?
One more.
Let's go Wicked the movie being in 2 parts.
Look, I want to see it, and yes, I would have liked to have all been in one part, but that I think that today's youth need lessons in delayed gratification.
Wow. That's a powerful answer.
Yeah, I didn't say whether it was camp or naff, but
No, a very political
it's pretty naff.
answer.
I just want it all.
Same, but also I don't know if I could handle all of it at once.
Yeah, I was
Good
going to say, like,
point.
I don't have a long attention span anymore because we just scroll so quickly. So, like, a really long movie, I'm always like, oh.
I do wonder, though, how they're going to finish the first in preparation for the second, because if you think about the actual theatre show, it finishing with Defying Gravity and then intermission, if they were to do the same thing in the movie, I think finishing with Defying Gravity, I guess you could fly off and then that's the end, right? We only have to wait a year as well.
Are they
I don't
filming it
know.
all at once?
Yeah, it's already all done.
Okay.
So, but it's literally 1 year apart. So I think it's 21st of November this year and then 21st of November next year. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, I'm saying camp.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be good.
Do I have to pick a side, camp or naff?
You do have to pick a side.
I'm going to say camp because it's absurd.
It is a little bit gay to make us wait a whole year, isn't it?
I think what we're finding through this exercise is that quite often binary categorization is far too limited for the nuances and complexities of life.
Put that on a fucking t-shirt and sell it. Courtney Act, thank you so much for coming in and thanks for letting me drag you in here.
My pleasure. Thanks for dragging me in.
Talk shit with us.
I was just on my way to the Dunnies. Now I've really got to piss.
Yeah, you better. You better go. Thank you for listening, scrollers. We forget what we have to say
See you
here.
next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Courtney, can you
See you next
do the outro for us?
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, there
We'll
we
have
go.
to bleep that.
That'll cancel you. That'll get you cancelled.